Hey Riverdale guys, so it's Hey Mitch and I'm doing my season 4 of episode 1 of Riverdale. Let's get into it.
To senior year. And all of its glories.
Alright, so before I begin, I do want to give like a quick shout out. I did another video on how much I love Riverdale and its bad writing. So one of the biggest critics of Riverdale, it's like it's bad writing, right? And so yeah, it is over the top, okay? And there's a level of schlock that this show has, and this video essay that I'll also link below goes into it. It's like they're hyper aware of the TV show and its bad writing. Instead of taking it seriously, they double down on it and just go to the extreme. Like, for example, you have Veronica, she owns a speakeasy under a diner. You have Archie, who owns a gym and who went to juvie and did Fight Club. You have Betty, who is pretty much Nancy Drew, and then you have Jughead, who is a leader of a biker gang called the Southside Serpents. None of this makes sense, and I love it for what it is, and its over the topness, right? So go ahead, check out that link below and see what else I had to talk about that video. Alright, so season 4, episode 1 of Riverdale, and you know, last season is my favorite season, right? I like the beginning half of the season versus the last half. I didn't know where they were going, and I guess I didn't do a video for it because for that very reason. But doing this episode, watching this episode, I had to do it. So I did my first video before Luke Perry passed, and obviously I want to do this video in kind of like in memory of that too. So again, I didn't do a season finale review of season 3, and then I'll just probably do this one episode review and then probably do a season 4 review at the end, right? So, you know, when it comes to this episode, I think Riverdale and its writers and its cast and its full crew did an excellent job. I mean, it's one thing to have a funeral, but for a real actor to pass, this episode was done very well, and I cried. Like, I legit cried in this episode because, like I said, it was real. You know, it wasn't just about a character. It was a real person who passed away, and you know, they could have spinned it like with Archie trying to go avenge his father, try to find its killer, which is very Archie. I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't put this whole, make it like a trivial situation where they had to find Archie's murderous dad, whatever, throughout the whole season. They kept it isolated, and they in good taste, just kept it within this episode. You know, so there's 3 parts that stood out to me, you know. The first one, the clear one, was have Shannon Doherty come in, you know. And when I saw that, dude, when I saw that was crazy. Like, and just a little bit, like, I thought they were gonna do like a magical element because of charm, but like, I'm glad they didn't. But like, to see Shannon Doherty there was very impactful. Like, not that I watched 90210 growing up, it was a little bit ahead of my time, but my sister watched it and her peers did, so I'm aware of it. But the fact that she did a guest appearance was really powerful, you know. And the second part, where it was in the story where Fred Andrews, you know, saved her, and she went there in memory of that passing, you know, that was good taste. And oh my goodness, let's go with the part that killed me, her doing a prayer in Our Father, right? That just hit my soul because really, I watched the episode late at night, and before watching the episode, I did a prayer with my parents. I was back home, and then we did a rosary, and we ended off with our Father for this particular reason, for a special intention, right? And so watching that episode, and in that moment, it was like dude was calling me out.
Maybe you'd like to join me? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory forever and ever. Amen.
And then going into the actual funeral scene, doing the Amazing Grace, oh, like you just double tap me, right? Like anytime I hear the Amazing Grace, that also kills me. It's a beautiful song, but it just gives so much like presence, you know? And so yeah. So going into this episode, like I said, I think it was well done. Like, I think it was a great tribute to the character and a great tribute to Luke Perry, and it needed to be done, you know, obviously. And I'm glad, like, I can't think of any TV show that did this. Like, and there probably is, and nothing just comes off of my head, but I'm glad, because I've seen funeral sequences in other TV shows. The first one that tops on top of my head is The Magicians, when what's his face, Quentin died, and they did like Take on Me, and it was very emotional. But this episode was more than that. Obviously, again, like I keep on repeating, it was for Luke Perry, and this whole funeral scene was crazy. Oh, sorry, I'm like, now I'm kind of getting tearied up because I remembered why the other part that that was impactful. So the police escort sequence was like, oh my god, like, come on, you guys. It's like, you have to like that's such a, like, as someone who's in like the military, like, dude, that just like kills me. Like that was like such a good moment. I mean, it's such a good and bad moment. Like, oh man, like, dude.
I'd like to give your dad a police escort the rest of the way home, if you're okay with it. He deserves it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Follow me then?
Yeah.
Again, how they treat this so well. Like, I'm so glad they did this, and it wasn't like as the bad writing that everyone talks about Riverdale. That part was in pureness. That was really great. And you know, like the whole waving of U.S. flags, like, and it's like, sorry to get real political real quick, but like, there's people that hate this country, and anytime that people actually love and show patriotism, like, I actually admire. Oh my goodness. And that whole sequence is just, it was just really touching, and I'm really glad they decided to do that. Okay, so after collecting myself a little bit and touching up, now I'll move forward and everything. So going into this episode and going into this whole season and reflecting on season 3. So like I said, the ending portion of season 3 was not really the greatest. I can't really remember. I need to rewatch, I guess, a highlight of it, what happened. Because going into this episode, I kind of forgot, like, that Hiram and Hermione are in jail. I don't know, but I kind of, I don't know where they went for season 3, because obviously for those who were watching the show, the first season is a murder mystery, and then you go into this slasher kind of thing in season 2, and then you were supposed to touch like mystical stuff in season 3. And then I saw a trailer for season 4. I don't know where they're trying to go with this season, but obviously I'm gonna keep on watching it. And I love one aspect of the show that I always like is the fashion. I don't really care for the musicals, but I find it funny. The best episode from season 3 was the Midnight Club, where they do like the Breakfast Club take on it. So that was the best one. And then going into the future for Riverdale and this season predictions and everything. I saw some stuff. I can't really draw a lot of conclusions or guesses what they were trying to do again. But like I said earlier and into my review of why I love Riverdale in my video, is I thought that we're gonna go into the magical side of the TV show, right? Because this is a comic book, right? And I thought they were gonna introduce Sabrina or something like that. And so do like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, because I guess they have the same writers or something. But going into season 3, I thought they were going to touch on the mystical. They're going to go there, but they didn't. They touched on it and they walked it back, I guess. I don't know. And then go and get like I'm repeating myself. Season 4, I don't know what they're trying to do. One thing that I am kind of apprehensive is that this is like the senior year, I guess, for them. And I think it's funny because they're 20-year-olds playing 17 and 18-year-olds and whatever. Anyway, so going into past the season, again, I don't know how they're gonna approach this, if all of the students are gonna leave Riverdale or they're gonna continue, because they're probably gonna go to college. So what's gonna happen to this show? Like, the show is about the city, but it's also about these 4 main characters, right? And so I don't know what's gonna happen. Overall, to wrap it up, again, this past episode of season 4, episode 1 was really done really well. Going forward, not too sure what they're gonna do. I'll probably obviously I'm gonna watch it and hopefully do a season review at the end, or maybe mid-season review when that time comes. But yeah, if you haven't already, check out my video on why I love Riverdale. Check out this video, essay behind me, how they actually do like genres and filming and all that stuff. Why this show actually is good, right? Crazy but good. Crazy, over the top, but they awareness of good. So yeah. So again, if you like this video, please like and subscribe as I'm building my channel. If you can go ahead also to my Instagram at HeyMitchMitch, you can follow me there, and my joint Instagram and joint channel, It's Mandatory Fun. I also have a second channel where I primarily dedicate my videos on TV movie reviews at HeyMitchMitch. Go ahead and I'll also link that below. And yeah, and watch out for new videos on the way. So with that said, thanks for watching. Peace, peace, peace. Be with you.